Well, Halloween is over and Eddie and I are tired. Maybe a little hungover from all that candy. Ha ha ha. No, it is episode number 124 of the Red River Horror Podcast, where we're going to discuss some spooky season, maybe a little It Welcome to Derry, and some other things. We're a little older, a little wiser, and about to talk about some fun stuff. So sit back, relax. It's episode number 124 of the Red River Horror Podcast.
Welcome to the Red River Horror Podcast, where the channels of fear wind through the shadows of your darkest nightmares. From cursed horror films and bone-chilling tales to whispered interviews and the desolate echoes of abandoned places, we explore every sinister current. Grip your oars tightly and brace for the journey ahead. Now, guiding you through the murky waters, your host, Joe Zakrzewski, joined by Red River Horror founder, Eddie Caiazzo.
Welcome back to the Red River Horror Podcast. It's episode number 124. I'm your host, Joe Zakrzewski, joined as always by RedRiverHorror.com founder Eddie Caiazzo. Hey, Ed, how are you?
Joe, it feels like there's been a lifetime lived over the entire month of October. I don't even know where the hell I am. What month are we in now?
November.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's right. Because there was a milestone in November.
Who, me? Yeah.
You're the first
Cross.
of us to get there, man. Happy birthday.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, cross to the next decade. So welcome to 40. Kind of weird just saying it out loud. Does I don't know. I've heard plenty of people the older I get to be like, I still feel the same age. So I don't know. I'm honestly in the best shape I've ever been in. I weigh the same weight, maybe less than I did my freshman year of high school. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's what they call it, man. They call it the ascension. That's
yeah.
the thing.
So
The ascension.
I guess I took the panic of changing a number in a positive direction. So, hey, for the win. But you know what? Enough about me. And thank you for everybody for all the birthday wishes and everyone who came out and all that good stuff. But one thing that I have been loving, other than uh, Welcome to Derry, is how much I tried to cram in October and how much I failed at it per usual. Um, and it just goes by so fast.
It does, man. Uh,
But it was still a good one.
yeah. Oh, I would say so. I mean, we did our absolute best to get as far ahead of it as we possibly could. And I think we achieved that. And what was cool this year, just to kind of go over Red October again, and we can move on from that quickly, but our good friend Joe D from Different Take with us to select that live. That list ended up turning out to be really good.
Yeah.
And again, the traffic, the impressions, people reaching out, messaging, it was unbelievable. People really connected with Red October, so much so that I think that people who listen to the show or are, you know, read the site watched more movies than I did during the month of October with the way everything kind of shook out. So it was awesome, man. But I think we got ahead of it well in advance to make this year one of the best yet. And I think we achieved.
Yeah. I mean, kicking off a Spectra Pulse. I mean, or like, dude. Um, don't worry, they're still coming on. We're still working on that.
I know I'm
We
gonna
can
reach
make that.
out. To be fair, I haven't reached out to them, and I will.
Yeah.
They interact with our stuff on Instagram. They've been there. They've been making touch points. I just gotta
Yeah.
say hello again.
It's just crazy how fast time has been flying by. And I want to ask you something because if we're going to talk about like the spooky season or a little hangover from post spooky season, um, mine got a little derailed, but even with the family emergency, we still were able to watch scary movies and enjoy Halloween. Well, I got to enjoy Halloween and, but high and low. So like your top, let's just for watching purposes, because obviously I think Spectra just takes the cake.
Yeah.
But you're viewing for the month of October, you're high and you're low. And I'll give you mine first to help you out here. One, if you haven't picked up on it, I'm high on it. Welcome to Derry. I'm very excited for this show. We'll talk a little more about that. What I'm low on, Hell House, LLC, Lineage. That's probably my low point for October. Um, and again, we love Stephen Cognetti's work around here. It is an ambitious effort, some really good scares, but the story as a whole falls a little flat. Um, so I give it an A for effort, but overall not a strong film.
Well, I'm glad we're kind of going here first as far as Hell House goes, just because yes, Stephen Cognetti fan. I'm a Hell House fan all the way. I did watch it, and I had to watch it multiple times. Going in, the thing is, you do have to set your expectations for something like a Hell House. This is not a massive, big budget horror film. This is not even a budget of a Blumhouse horror film. I know you'd say, what's the difference? Blumhouse, it's funny. They actually have a good strategy. They make the first movie usually on a $5 million budget and then cash in on the sequels after that. It's
It
pretty smart.
works.
But with Hell House, the thing is, he expects you to remember a lot, and that's very hard to do. And there's not really enough of a visual of everything to bring it all home properly. That being said, we had a hell of a run over 4 movies, and there were some good scares in Lineage. It's just he's attempting to tell a cinematic story made up of all of the pieces that we've had to put together over the ride, and it's very very hard to do.
Yeah, yeah, and it's one thing, and not to get like too critical into the writing, but you nailed it right there, where the story being told expects you to remember great detail, not just from the first Hell House, but from all the sequels. And that's probably one of the biggest challenges as a writer if you're getting that deep into a series of movies,
Yeah.
like just building out this franchise and then going that deep now. Being the person who wrote it, obviously you're going to remember it better than your audience.
Sure.
And that's something that maybe, next time around, consider being like lighten it up or provide the Easter egg that really ties it together. Um, Even a reference would do. Right. That's where writing gets really difficult in knowing your audience. And it's like, yeah, your audience is fans of the movies that you made, but probably not as deep as it went with between the hotel and the mansion and
Yeah, and I think we're at
or,
part 5, and rightfully so. They always say that, series, or at least in television, they should end after season 5, and that's been a pretty good rule, I think, up to this point. But we're on the 5th movie, and I understand there's no way to. We'll get into a little bit of spoiler territory, but not too much. But there's no way to really go back to the hotel. The Carmichael Manor is cool. Um, both settings are great. I wish with the final installment there was a way for us to go back to Hell House and the Abaddon Hotel, and there wasn't. And
yeah.
and it's just not to spoil anything. I feel like if you were trying to tell a linear story of the lineage, we could have at least been there one more time. um, but it was a lot of the Carmichael Manor, a lot of the newer stuff, a lot of things that, yes, you have to pay attention to detail all throughout the series. And that's not a knock. I think that, you know, if you're a bigger box film or a series, like think of the Marvel universe, you have a bunch of people ensuring that you're kind of pushing the ball forward properly, dropping the right hints at the right times to bring people along in the story. Joseph Cognetti, I mean, he's one man. He created this whole thing, so it was probably pretty hard to do to bring it home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't fault anybody for that. You take a swing and you go for it.
Yeah.
And the positives out of that movie is that there are great, creepy jump scares.
Yes, there are.
Always hits that. So obviously, I can't complain there. So it's really a movie of, have fair expectations
Yes.
and enjoy it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep. Temper your expectations going in because that's what allowed me. I watched it multiple times just because I am such a Hell House fan and I'm just realizing this is the end, you know? And even
yeah.
Joseph Cognetti said, hey, like I am working on other stuff. It's just like, I know. It's just Hell House has been such a part of my Halloween season for I know for sure the last 5, 6 years.
Look, the OG Hell House LLC stays on. I mean, that might be that's like a mainstay for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolute gem.
Modern classic, indie, local. It's got everything for us, man.
Yeah. I talked to Joe D about it a little bit, and Joe is so good at keeping things positive no matter what. And the way he described it, and like the text was just like, yeah, I think you'll be okay if I read this because like
Yeah.
it's, I mean, people who've listened to the show, you've met Joe.
Mhm.
I absolutely love that guy, and it always bothers me when he sounds like he's not having a good time. I'm like, Joe, need that fun energy from you.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm also guilty of that. Like I am pretty optimistic about horror in general. You have to be a really bad offender to piss me off.
yeah,
Um,
so here's what he hits me with. He said, "All right, remember Hell House Lineage is the first non-found footage movie from Hell House, dude. Go in with a completely different approach. I liked it. It has issues, but overall, it was better than I expected." But to be honest, I had very low expectations. It's like the suspense is really good. Subtitles being off helps scare, at least for me, but he likes having subtitles on.
mhm.
But the plot, you might have to rewind and turn subtitles on. There's a lot of connecting the dots.
Yeah, too much connecting the dots.
So, I mean, he's like, I don't want to say anything else about the movie. I want you to go in with an open mind, but I'm holding back. And I'm like, shit. That means it's not going to be like, you know,
I, I
temper your expectation. It's an indie film.
I didn't think
So
it was bad. I didn't like
yeah,
there are films that I've spent time with that were far worse than Hell House Lineage. Um, and I love the other four movies. And again, I thought the Carmichael Manor was a great stand-in for the hotel. As we get along in
yeah.
the series, we eventually make it to the Carmichael Manor. No, I mean it was absolutely. I enjoyed my time with Hell House. Lineage just asks you to do a lot.
And in the indie horror space, there's just things where you gotta take the good with the not so good.
Yep.
And as long as you can appreciate some part of it, then everything's a-okay. And then you have not had Good Boy. You've not had the time to watch Good Boy yet.
Nor will I. I'm not gonna watch Good Boy.
No?
Yeah.
Even with like their disclaimers?
Yeah, no, it's too much. I can't. It's too emotional for me. I no way.
I, I just love that there's like nothing bad happens to the dog to make sure people see it.
Yeah. I can't, man.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's another one which you gotta give those that kudos to an original idea, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to find some kind of other shorts format where I can do like quick glimpses of movies I've seen so that I don't waste your time telling you all about them and then you'd be like, okay, and then we move on.
No, the thing with I just the problem I have is things have gotten too heavy in the horror scene. for too
Do you
long.
see Bring Her Back?
No, hell no. No, because both you and the thing is, the one thing we all have our own flavor, we all have our own tastes. But
Yeah.
one pattern I've picked up on is that you and Stacy have a similar taste in when there's a like severely depressing type horror movie, you like it. And and I can't, it's too much. The weight of what we do every single day with our family, our friends, our work, you know, I can't. It's got to be. It doesn't have to be a slasher film. I know I always say Jason Lives. It doesn't all have to be Jason Lives. I can deal with good pacing, slow burn, all that fun stuff. But I can't. The emotional stuff. It's too much for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's something about like feeling that sense of dread that comes with it that like I don't know, makes me feel better about any crap I'm going through. I don't know. Like I don't know. I like things that I can feel it. It's either that or a mindless laugh, and those deep
But
depressing movies somehow they just strike a chord with me. So
yes, and
yeah.
with me too, just in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But we don't. I wouldn't look at that as wasted time with you talking to me about it. I'm all ears on Good Boy. It was hot going in. Like people were very excited to see that movie.
Yeah. I mean the idea behind it's really good, but I'll save that for another time because I would love to discuss some Stephen King.
Yes.
Um, Especially my high is It Welcome to Derry. And I am like ready to just run around town smacking people up. So anybody who says it's just they're like, well, it's just another Stranger Things. I'm like, I'm gonna hit you. Like, do you not understand? It's just like, no, Stranger Things was like taken from all those 80s stories. And it's like you could I mean, I know the Tim Curry It is 1990, right? Or 91.
Yes. Yeah.
You could lump that in there with the Duffer Brothers for their inspiration because like Stranger Things is like it's a kid, the coming of age kids adventure, yada yada, like a
Uh,
la Goonies. That's what everybody kept saying. It's like Goonies.
oh yeah, no. I
Yeah.
Stranger Things. It's not a. I don't go into Stranger Things looking to get scared. I I,
No.
I was just told like at the time when Stranger Things came out, everybody was watching it, everybody was talking about it. I'm into the darker stuff, the horror stuff. This is more sci-fi, but okay. I watched
Yeah.
like holy crap, this has got a lot of heart,
Yeah.
and that's kind of was my they've been able to keep it at very high quality all throughout. Um
Well, we'll find out.
yeah, no, I'm excited to see the conclusion. It's been great, but I don't. But all that to say, I don't go into a
Yeah.
Stranger Things season or episode expecting to be scared.
Yeah. So I don't know where some people are coming with that the Stranger Things vibe from it as if it itself, the whole first half isn't what it Welcome to Derry is like what they're doing,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm. Yeah,
But
and
hey,
for reference, you told me this. I didn't know. Stranger Things apparently is from Dungeons and Dragons. Like that's kind of where the stories and the villains and everything come from.
yeah.
So there's four kids, but they're all friends. They're all hanging out, and one of the kids goes missing, and that's what starts the entire adventure. And they run into Millie Bobby Brown, a girl who's has superpowers, and so it's and off to the races. This no, just to give people kind of a if you're gonna jump off for Welcome to Derry, it's the kids involved are all coming together because of a tragedy. They're all coming together because of something bad that's happened and something weird that they can't figure out. It's not that like yeah, Stranger Things is the heartwarming like let's open up a Pizza Hut box with the red soda cups and play Dungeons and Dragons together. I know one of our friends went missing. Welcome to Derry, they're all meeting under very strange circumstances and it's not that there's not that same heart because
No,
it's supposed to be.
it's more depressing because the first kill in the opening episode of the first season is uh, the kid whose mom convinced people to go to his birthday party. Like, and they didn't even know it was his birthday. Like, he's the bullied weirdo, and he's the one who gets got
I
to
know.
start. What a great way to start the show.
Yes, because that does see now that's done right. That whole that and you'll if you watch Welcome to Derry, you will see this. It's the first thing kind of that happens, the first story that's really told. Um, Kid gets picked up uh in a car, he's kind of hitchhiking away. He's doesn't have the best life. And let's just say, because we're going to celebrate Stephen King and this story for a little while,
Mm,
let's just say the closest thing to it in the universe that you've seen is when Beverly finally goes back to her old apartment that she lives in with her dad, and things start changing.
yeah,
And that's this first story that's told in Welcome to Derry is very creepy in that respect.
absolutely. And it's one of the things of um, when you hear the biggest complaints of like the book to screen, what are the people who have like, oh man, I wish they did this from the book? Like, there's a few things. And one of those is to really understand the entity of Pennywise. Pennywise is beyond extraterrestrial, like outside of our universe. Like Stephen King has the whole macroverse, and one of the key characters left out of it if it is Pennywise's Pennywise is evil, the good to Pennywise is evil, and that's Martorin,
Mm.
which is the giant turtle that we're apparently just floating on its back or whatever. Like, you know, that's the force for good, but it doesn't involve typically get involved with humans or anything like that. Whereas Pennywise, that entity is hanging out in Derry. And now in the book, they do what's called the ritual of Chud. It has that umlaut. So it's like CHU with the umlaut, B, Chud. And it's a psychological battle. So a lot of the psychological stuff does not really translate to the screen as it does in from reading a book. So that's why it's like in the movie, in this miniseries, most things are psychological things are omitted or just kept really quick. Such as like Beverly coming home, and whereas we're getting way more macroverse activity in Welcome to Derry, it's like they're using because most of the material is already used. They're using material that has not been used yet and combining that into the show.
Which this is probably the perfect platform for it in an episodic series because, and this isn't giving anything away, especially if you've read the book. I mean, hell, you've had what 40 years to read it, right? um but remember, like, Richie sees the werewolf and Eddie sees the leper, and it's not like Pennywise the clown. Like, yes, clowns are creepy. Tim Curry did a masterful job bringing that clown to life and scaring a whole generation of kids, as did Bill Skarsgård. I mean, because we're coming up on 10 years almost of that movie, which is pretty wild to think about.
Yeah,
um but there's a lot of things that happened. There's a lot of to Mike Hanlon, it's the bird. It's so many different things to all the different children that see it, that it preys upon. It you would call Pennywise. And you're right, we haven't seen the yin and yang thing. Like, we've only seen the evil of the force that takes the shape of Pennywise the clown up to this point on the screen for the most part. We've seen a
yep,
few other things like, yeah, Andrew Muschietti in the newer it's brought some of those things to life, but we're most familiar with the clown. And
exactly.
I've never seen the battle of good and evil in this, and that's why they say it's just like, oh, it's a Dark Tower story. It's just like, well, it was first, and um there's got to
Well,
be a battle of good and evil, and I have no idea how it's going to play out.
my theory behind this is they some like Dark Tower people are getting really pissed because they think that this is ruining the Dark Tower. It's like, well, it already got botched with that movie that came out was with a great cast, and it's just too much. It's something that should be a series, and I think that it Welcome to Derry may lead into a split off Dark Tower series.
which would be fine as long.
And meanwhile, they could keep going back in time 27 more years and beyond to like the origin
Yeah,
of Pennywise. There is the way this is being done is opening up so many doors. And I don't think I remember I've talked about Castle Rock on Hulu with you before, but I don't know if you ever got around to watching it.
I watched season one. I did not make it through season two. Just
See,
circumstance.
yeah, you and a lot of other people. That's what led to its demise. And it's one of those things with an anthology where if it's not as exciting as the first one, and or if it's too different,
Yeah.
then sometimes people step away rather than seeing it through. But I think people made a mistake. I think Hulu made a mistake canceling it, but hey, whatever. Also, season one starring Bill Skarsgård.
I know, man. Dude, Bill Skarsgård in the horror space and the Stephen King space. He's done it all in a very short amount of time. It's pretty amazing.
Hey,
But
good.
but um it is kind of cool. Like Stephen King's universe is so vast. It's so big. You and I think we may have you'd have to be a heavy listener of the Red River Horror podcast to get to the point where Joe and I said I think that was our introduction to horror. Not like you say the Ghostbusters is the gateway to it because there's spooky things that happen. I think the first true horror story you and I have ever been told that we comprehended through that miniseries and then through the book was the story of it. Am I wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we've absolutely. I mean, it was an early love, you know, terrified me, but I loved it.
Yep.
Um, definitely, definitely like, sheesh, might be the first. Isn't my first horror love?
I think if not your first horror love, it was definitely something that you and I, before we were like great friends, connected on,
Oh yeah,
you know, at a
yeah.
very early age. Like too early.
And
Just like, well, yeah, we know the miniseries, but then you and I start talking about the book
the
and everyone's
book,
like, well, what the
yeah. I borrowed yours.
but we were
Yeah,
pretty darn young.
as the it's probably the longest book I read until I was an adult. Like it's big,
It's a
big
slog
book.
too. It's not it's they said that, I don't know if this is true, but King may have been on cocaine throughout the time writing that because it does go off in some weird directions. But one thing that I am excited about in the way that you're talking about Welcome to Derry, the way that they brought to the screen Castle Rock already, my favorite part of the It book was the oh no, the interludes. That's what they were called. I'm trying not prelude, the interludes where they told the story all throughout history of Pennywise, like the history of this evil that we've come to know on the screen as the clown mostly, but this
Hmm.
evil going all throughout the history of Derry, and that's my favorite part of the It book. And this Welcome to Derry seems like it's going to take me through some of these stories because those were my favorite, even though some of them were messed up and all like that. Those were my favorite parts of it.
Yeah. Well,
Interlude.
you're in for a treat. What also clever enough is one thing that I was curious about was like, are we just going to get, is this going to be the Pennywise show or is it going to be something else? And you haven't really seen much of Pennywise at all yet.
Yeah.
And he's not even in the first episode.
Nope.
Like he is, but the clown version isn't.
Right.
Like, and then I know you haven't seen it yet, but in episode three, We get our first like glimpse, and the way it's done, I'm sitting in a dark room and I'm getting little chills up my spine thinking about the scene where it happens.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I talk about like the Castle Rock element, which so if you have not seen Castle Rock, so Castle Rock took Stephen King characters and stories and made them into its own thing, while still using references to it. I think that that sums it up where it's like bringing in all of King universe into this one place for stories. Now, Welcome to Derry's doing that. It references nearby Castle Rock, so Castle Rock gets mentioned. Um, we already have a look at a bike, which was the Hi Ho Silver bike, like the one from the 1990 series. Um, you have characters from other King areas. Dick Halloran from
Yeah.
the shot, who's the groundskeeper in The Shining, and is also in Doctor Sleep.
Hmm.
So we get that character. Um,
Is
you
it?
get the Dark Tower references. Well,
I meant to look that up going in. Is it the same actor? Do you know off the top of your
no,
head? No, no, that played that was the actor in Doctor Sleep. I mean, that played
I
Dick Halloran.
don't think so. I think it's just the same.
Okay. No, no, I don't mean to take you off track there. I just I was curious because he was really good in Doctor Sleep. Really good.
Yeah, but I mean, even like the Castle Rock part, like shows it. It's like an article and it says something about a rabid dog. So like a little uh, nod to Cujo,
Right.
you know. And then there's another line in there. It's just like, you know what they do to kitty murders in Shawshank. Like Shawshank gets a reference. And then oh, what's the name of the asylum?
Juniper Hill.
Yeah, Juniper Hill. Like, so we get all these pieces. I mean, Juniper Hill's in it. So I mean,
Yep. Mm.
all of these things at play, even things that are gone in the modern, like I'm really excited for what they're doing, Ed. And I'm telling you, there's been parts that have given me the creeps. I think the only gripe I could hear someone from the pilot, that first episode, is not seeing Pennywise and instead seeing that weird, creepy baby entity thing.
All right, that's me because
Yeah.
that scene is so creepy and so upsetting for the darn kid. Like again, it's important to note the group of kids that start coming together in Welcome to Derry and what ultimately happens, throughout that is because one of the kids, one of their, I wouldn't say their friend, but one of someone in their circle is murdered, and it's it's a child. That's Pennywise's MO, and everything leading up to it is so creepy. And then we get this like bat flying baby thing, and that annoyed me. And I understand I've rolled with King for a very long time. I understand there is weird imagery, and there are some things that when they're described on the page or I see them on screen, I'm like, that doesn't quite land with me. This was what disappointed me about the baby thing was everything leading up to it was so damn good. It didn't ruin it all for me. It was just weird, you know?
Well, Ed, you're it's only going to get better from here, at least in my opinion. Thought it was fine. At first, watching it a lot, like as it was going, I'm like, and then I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, I didn't see the clown at all.
Right.
Like, I mean, they kind of hinted to it. You don't see him though.
No.
And then even after like the baby thing and everything, it's like, wait a minute. This isn't like, well, like I said, the thing I was worried about is like, is this just going to be the Pennywise show? And that's when it hit me. It's like, no, they're going into the deeper, more of that element of what Pennywise is and does rather than just the clown being the face of it.
Which is the direction to go at this point with that
Yeah.
story. You can't Stephen King's best-selling book, like just one of like an all-time classic in the book It being released in what I think it was 85. The miniseries, just whether you think it was good or not, it hit our generation very, very hard. The older millennial will say is that film affected a lot of them and influenced a lot of them and a lot of the horror that they consume. So you have a blockbuster best-selling book from King in the mid 80s. You have it brought to the screen that everybody can see it via that mini series done by Tommy Lee Wallace, the great Tommy Lee Wallace. And then you have the biggest opening of all time. I think it's still it 2017 for it coming back. I think that's still the biggest horror box office, right? It 2017, like that's
I think so. I mean, how many times have we went into like a blockbuster Hollywood and we are like talking to somebody and I'd be like a smart ass and be like, we'd be like, oh, what movie would you like to see? It's like, I'd love to see an It movie. We're like, there is one. Like, that was on TV. It doesn't count. It's
right.
like, I want to see something on screen where it doesn't have to hold back.
Yep. And it 2017 was all that. Now,
And
again,
it holds up. You
oh,
rewatch it. It's like,
absolutely.
oh, oh, oh.
The acting's unbelievable. The story is unbelievable. Um, Andy Muschietti, I like him. Some of the things, like some of his style, is a little weird to me, but
Mhm.
it didn't take away like that. It wasn't enough to impose, like to put any kind of negative strikes on me for
Yeah.
it 2017. It was that good.
Guy's got good vision. At least his vision really works for me because what he did with the movies and what he's doing with a series now is something that I am very, very much enjoying. And we will be doing shorts with me called 30 Seconds to Derry, where I'm going to try and sum up the episode in 30 seconds or less. I'm probably going to go over, but hey,
Well,
you'll
that
see them out there.
it's exciting, Joe. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of big things that have happened. We passed Red October. That was huge for us. Um, Bigger than it ever has been. We consumed a lot of horror, and to kind of the end of the Halloween season being the jumping off point for Welcome to Derry. I mean, it's only good things ahead. And yes, I did want to tease that as well, but also say I wanted to put those on TikTok as one of the first things on the Red River Horror TikTok page, right?
Yeah.
Somebody must have tried to start a Red River Horror account with the Red River Horror at gmail.com where you can contact us because
Probably.
it's already banned. I didn't even post anything yet.
The email address is banned.
Yeah. It's like this account is banned. I'm like, for what? So I
I
don't know.
don't know. I mean, that's worth like hitting them up. Like, what the hell? I've never
Yeah,
used this.
absolutely. Because everybody, but that was one big thing that came throughout Red October. Because I saw a lot of different people, not on purpose, just parties and things like that. And the one charge with Red River Horror is just like, hey, when are you going to get on TikTok? I'm like, all right, I'll give me a second here. I just figured out Instagram. Right. But no, but the cool
Yeah.
I love it, Joe. 30 seconds to Derry. It is a great thing to launch um in like the short space. So the Red River Horror YouTube channel, the Instagram page, Joe's page, 30 seconds to Derry. Very excited about it because your passion for what's been going down is coming through. I've already seen some of these in the early stages and I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm just stoked for more of this show. So feel free to talk to me about it anytime, anybody who's listening. It's just crazy. I mean, and it has to come from that, like it being something I fell in love with from a young age. So, and I mean, my sister and I had like a few years in a row where we watched it like the day before school started.
Hey,
I don't know. I have no idea why that was, but we did it like 3 or 4 years in a row.
well, one more thing before we close out, Joe. I mean, no, that's pretty. I never really had a ritual like that. I did used to watch it in my room, though. You remember my room, the layout. I did
Mm,
used to watch it when it rained. When it
yeah.
rained, it was just like, all right, it's time to watch it.
Yeah.
You know? But that's cool. I didn't know I knew your sister was into it. I didn't know you guys actually had a tradition that you celebrated together.
Yeah. We used to like kind of get along and then around, you know, I'll blame her probably when she's got like 15 or 16. And it was a little rough times, and then it came back around. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's the way it goes.
before we close out, one of the things that's important to me is physical media. And I think it's worth having this conversation, but I'll mention first before the physical media thing that Popcorn Pushers, which you're in, which
Hey,
had its big premiere. It was on the same night as your 40th birthday. So we were celebrating your 40th birthday. Popcorn Pushers was celebrating its release. You know the gentleman, obviously, that made this film, or the series,
series. Yeah.
which is going to be sustained, which is awesome. And you said he is a big physical media fan. So I had something that I want to flesh out, and it is regarding it.
Okay.
there are there is the VHS version, there's the DVD version, and then there's the Blu-ray. Now we're talking about the 1990 miniseries. I got to know which one he prefers, and I have a specific question about the Blu-ray and where part 2 starts. It's very troubling.
Oh, yeah, save that. I don't want to know until we get there. Just
Yeah.
write that down. Don't forget it. And
Okay.
that's Tom Peeler and Jaya Peck, who are the creative force behind Popcorn Pushers. We'll get them on the show.
Yeah.
And we'll talk what they've got, and yeah, we'll have some
And,
fun with it.
and
And
help
you
us
know,
project along, which we've been talking about for the entirety of this podcast.
yeah, now's the time. Strike. It's time to strike.
Yep.
Let's make things happen. And then real quick as we close, because I know we mentioned Stranger Things, and Stranger Things is going to be making its comeback for its final season of whatever the fuck it is. Like, I don't even know why it's being called a season when it's more of a series of movie. Like, the length of the episodes is going to be like last time, where it's like a mixed bag. And then I don't know. I am someone who is I'm a big consumer of watching movies and TV, and I'm fucking sick of 2 to 3 years between seasons for a show. Unless there's a real reason for it, just don't drag it out. Knock this shit off. It ruined Game of Thrones. And it's just like they're doing it with the spin-off series House of the Dragon. It's just like first season was great, and then the second season is like, well, what the fuck happened? I waited 2 years for this. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because the consistency isn't there. It should always be worked on, always in production. This time off and coming back to it is just turning everything into shit. I'm getting angry about it. Joe's getting upset. It
I
needs to stop.
understand, but they're dealing also with a very changed media landscape.
It's true. I
It's
mean,
not,
everybody's got different jobs.
not giving them an out. Believe me, they make far more than I do in their jobs, and God bless them. If they only have to go to, like, let's just say you only have to go to work every 2 to 3 years, God bless you. Good for you. Um,
Yeah,
but I know you're
that
right. Yeah, of course the quality suffers, but we view things differently now.
Yeah, so you know what you do? Right to close it out. Stop expanding it as if you need to have more because that's what sells. It's bullshit. It's time. Like something like Stranger Things should have just been turned like could have turned it into a one and done season or 1 to 3 seasons, but it's like we have to keep going. We have to keep going because that's what the demand is. And then you could run into the thing, an HBO show called Euphoria. You ever hear of it?
No,
All right. Euphoria had 1 season. It took off. It was huge. You know who the two stars of that show are?
no.
Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney.
Okay, that I know those two.
Yeah, because and it's like there's like this thing of like, where's the third season? It's like, well, their careers fucking skyrocketed.
Yeah, yeah, they're both like A listers now.
They are the new like A tier people. So
Huh.
yeah,
Okay.
big ticket names, and they yeah,
So if you're a Euphoria fan, you're probably going to be waiting a little bit longer.
supposedly. I think they both seem to say that they're into it, but I don't know. I don't care. We'll see what happens. I'm just
Stranger
oh
Things. You, just to interrupt you real quick, yeah, that was one of the problems I did have with the last season, only because I do like Stranger Things, love the show a lot. It's one of the coolest things I've seen in a very long time. I didn't realize we were in for movies when we sat down. The hours that I work or the weird time that I keep. I found myself falling asleep when I was able to actually get in to watch it. I'd get like 45 minutes in and then be like, holy crap. Or I'd wake up and my wife's still watching. She's like, are you watching this? I'm like, clearly not. I
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. It's just this is insane. And I can't believe that they're doing it that way. I guess because it worked last time, but it's like
yeah.
reading the synopsis, it doesn't even look like the time jump is far enough to justify how much they've aged.
Right.
So I went back and rewatched some of like the series. I'm like, wait, how did it end? And I remember watching. I'm like, it ends on like where it's supposed. It should have. They should have been ready to start filming right after that one.
Mm.
But whatever. I mean, like you said, that's just the way it is now. Right to finish. Do what Danny McBride does. Have a start. Have a finish. Good quality shit that doesn't drag on.
Yeah.
All of his shows are fucking wonderful. They're not horror, but damn, are they good?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
he tells a cogent story, beginning, middle, and end.
yeah,
Um,
that's it.
no, it's something that, and I don't want to get hate mail because that'll happen. It's something that happened with Supernatural. I mean, I think I've mentioned a few times, even in this episode, five seasons,
Yeah.
and they told a great story. Now, believe me, you're not going into Supernatural looking for this incredible story that brings you from the beginning to end, but if you were invested in it, it was pretty damn good, and it finished perfectly at the end of season 5, and it just kept going on. Now, it went on for like 15 seasons, and it started as like a freak of the week type thing, which I liked a lot. But as far as where it was in the 5th season and where it finished, it's just like this story's done. I like this. We
Mm,
can here, and it went on.
yeah. And it's coming back, right?
I don't know. Is it?
I thought I heard something about that. But now let's close on this on if we're Supernatural is coming back.
Yeah. So
I
just
think it is though.
just to recap, we've touched on Castle Rock, Welcome to Derry, Stranger Things, and now we're on Supernatural.
Okay, it's not coming back, but Jared Padalecki and Judson Eccles were like, yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
And then there was that prequels thing that came and went real quick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, it's got its fans. I'm just saying, five seasons. So Stranger Things will end at 5 seasons. I've been invested. I love Stranger Things. Hopefully, I know that this is the end, so hopefully they close it out right.
yeah. So fingers crossed on that. Fingers crossed that Welcome to Derry keeps its current momentum and just rides that wave and doesn't fall into that trap of overdoing it. It's got so much material to work with and is using way more than you could expect, way more than I expected. Just going through the whole macroverse. So, Ed, you got anything else for the people?
Kudos to the Kings that have brought it to us through all these years. I'm very excited for the rest of Welcome to Derry, and be on the lookout for Joe's 30-second to Derry feature coming very, very soon.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the bell on the YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I guess now at some point TikTok when the email address gets unbanned that has never been used on it before. But whatever. It's been episode number 124. And oh, before I forget, you can also just email us, redriverhorror@gmail.com for whatever. And check out the website, redriverhorror.com. This has been episode number 124. I'm Joe Zakrzewski, and remember to keep traveling those channels of fear.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Red River Horror Podcast. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, and share. For great written horror content, go to redriverhorror.com. On Spotify or Apple Music, leave us a comment. Or if you have a thought about the show, just email redriverhorror@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and as always, thank you for following those channels of fear.